Let me take you to a state that has for years been synonymous with fear. Zamfara. When you hear that name, what comes to mind? For too long, it has been bandits, kidnappings, and communities living in terror. The names of bandit leaders, Bello, Turji, and other band have become household names for all the wrong reasons. Farmers have abandoned their fields, markets have struggled, movement along key roads has been cautious at best. Before we take you to Gusau, the capital of Zamfara state, I want to ask you to do something. If you believe that the men and women fighting to keep us safe deserve the best equipment money can buy, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us tell these stories of progress and the long road to peace. However, something happened in Gusau recently that suggests the tide might finally be turning. And it involves 25 massive machines, an eye in the sky, and a warning from the governor that could not be clearer. Let me paint the scene for you. Picture the government house in Gusau on a Wednesday morning. Rows of military personnel standing at attention. The sun glinting off something new, something formidable. Parked in formation are 25 brand new armored personnel carriers. These are not your average patrol vehicles. These are beasts designed for the toughest terrain, built to protect the soldiers inside them as they roll into the most dangerous communities in the state. And hovering above, quite literally, is the future of warfare in Zamfara. An 80-meter endurance surveillance drone capable of covering 50 kilometers and operating continuously for 8 hours. This was not a military parade. This was a statement. Governor Dauda Lawal was handing over these assets to the troops, the Nigerian army, the police, the DSS, the NSCDC, everyone on the front lines. And standing beside him was the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, there to show that this was a united front. Federal and state working together.
Now, at this point, we need to understand what these vehicles and drones actually mean. The Secretary to the State Government, Abubakar Nakwada, put it perfectly when he said, "These assets, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister Sir, are not merely equipment. They are force multipliers." Let me break that down. A force multiplier is something that makes every soldier on the ground more effective. It is not just about having more men. It is about giving the men you have the tools to win. The governor himself explained it in clear terms. For years, Zamfara faced a security crisis that disrupted life at every level. Rural areas experienced instability. Farmers faced uncertainty. Markets underperformed. It was a widespread issue affecting daily life and the economy. But this administration decided to move from fragmented responses to structured reform. They established the Zamfara State Security Trust Fund to provide a predictable framework for logistical support. They strengthened collaboration with the armed forces. They implemented community protection guards, local vigilantes working within the law to provide grassroots intelligence. This is not just about buying toys for the military. This is about building a system. Let's look at the numbers because they are staggering. Before these 25 APCs arrived, the state had already distributed 150 new Hilux vehicles to security forces, 20 Toyota Buffalos, half armored, half soft body, over 600 specialized motorcycles for rapid response in tough terrain, and for the community protection guards, another 60 Hilux vehicles and motorcycles. Now add to that these 25 APCs and the surveillance drones. The drone, by the way, is not just a toy. It can stay in the air for 8 hours straight, covering 50 kilometers of territory, feeding real-time intelligence to commanders on the ground.
From here, we need to understand what real-time intelligence means. It means knowing where the bandits are before they know where you are. It means seeing movement in the bush at night. It means guiding troops exactly to the right location instead of searching blindly. It means fewer ambushes, fewer casualties, and more bandits neutralized. Why does any of this matter? It matters because just last month, in January 2026, an Islamic cleric named Malam Zainu Mada was kidnapped along Kotokoshi Mada Road. His family paid 2 million naira ransom, a motorcycle, and 70,000 naira in recharge cards. The bandits took the money and killed him anyway. They told the family to come and collect his corpse. Also in January, 5 soldiers and a police inspector were killed in an ambush along the Bingi-Kotakoshi-Togusa road. They were on pass, traveling, when bandits struck. The military confirmed that these troops had just completed successful operations, arresting suspects, recovering weapons, when they were ambushed on their way back. And in Talata-Mafara local government area, bandits attacked Tashakuturu in Janjebe village, abducting 23 women and children, shooting 1 person and setting shops ablaze. The security personnel who responded could not engage the bandits because of the superiority of their weapons. Every single one of those incidents happened in the weeks leading up to this handover. So when you see these APCs and drones, remember the cleric who was killed after ransom was paid. Remember the soldiers who never made it home. Remember the 23 women and children taken from their beds. This equipment is for them, for the ones we've lost, and for the ones we can still save.
Now, here is where the story takes a dramatic turn. Governor Lawal, standing before those 25 APCs, looked into the cameras and delivered a message that every bandit in the bush needs to hear. He said, "Assets given to you are not for you to play with them or to joke with them, is for serious business. Zamfara and the good people of Zamfara state want to see results, not stories. So that we are getting this means we should have more safety, more peace, and any terrorist, bandit or criminal that is not ready to surrender or ready to lay down his arms, we should send him to the great beyond." Let me repeat that last part. Send him to the great beyond. The governor charged the security personnel to discharge their responsibilities with a high sense of duty, integrity, and restraint, bearing in mind that significant public resources have been committed to these acquisitions. And the defense minister, General Christopher Musa, added his voice. It takes courage and firm conviction for subnational leadership to commit substantial resources towards strengthening public safety. And the best thing about this is that everything has been paid for. This sends a strong message to criminals. Everything has been paid for. That is important. No debts, no owing. The equipment is here, now, ready to roll. Interestingly, just weeks before this handover, the theater commander of Operation Fansan Yamma, Major General Wara Idris, had already declared that bandit leader Bello Turji was in panic mode. He said Turji and others are currently in confusion and panic because of the intensity of current operations. They are relocating after every few hours, every few days. How does a person who does not have a permanent location control a local government? The commander dared Turji to come out and present a single local government that he controls. Now imagine those same bandits, already on the run, already panicking, learning that 25 new APCs and surveillance drones have just been added to their arsenal. Imagine what that does to their morale. Another angle to this issue is the regional dimension. The military has strengthened intelligence sharing with neighboring countries, including Niger and the Benin Republic, to curb cross-border movements of armed groups. Several Lakurawa fighters were killed last month during operations around the Kamba General area. This is not just a Zamfara fight, it is a regional war, and the federal government is paying attention. The Minister of Defense, visibly impressed, even made a bold prediction. From what I have seen, if we continue like this in the second term, Zamfara will look like Dubai. Now, Dubai might be a stretch, but the point is clear. Peace brings development. Security brings investment. When farmers can go to their farms without fear, food prices come down. When roads are safe, markets thrive. When children can sleep without hearing gunshots, a generation grows up without trauma. So, here is the question I want to leave with you today. What is your role in all of this? The government has provided the equipment, the troops are putting their lives on the line, the bandits are on the run. But security is a shared responsibility. If you see something, say something. If you hear of bandit movements, report it. If you know someone who is informing for the criminals, expose them. The community protection guards are there for grassroots intelligence. Use them, support them. And for the bandits still in the bush, the ones who think they can outrun drones and outgun APCs, the governor has given you a choice. Lay down your arms and embrace peace, or be sent to the great beyond. The window is closing.
As we end this report, I want you to hold on to that image. 25 armored vehicles lined up in the sun, ready to roll. An unmanned aerial vehicle lifting into the sky, its cameras scanning the horizon. A governor who has decided that enough is enough, a defense minister standing in solidarity, and out there in the forests, men who have terrorized communities for years, now looking over their shoulders, wondering when the sky will fall on them. The road ahead is still long. There will still be challenges. There may still be setbacks. But for the first time in a long time, the people of Zamfara have reason to hope. And hope, when backed by steel and surveillance, is a powerful thing. If this story gave you hope, if you believe in the men and women fighting for our safety, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Share it with your friends and family. Let them know that change is coming to Zamfara. Let them know that the bandits are running. And let them know that when a state decides to fight back with everything it has, peace is possible. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. And remember, security begins with each one of us.